Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey, everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Super excited for what we get to create today. I always love that our gratitude call starts out. We have no planned agenda, and it always turns out amazing. I hope that you guys, during this time of uncertainty, when a lot of people don't really have anything solid to hold on to, that you're sending out this gratitude call, inviting people to join us, sending out some of your favorite episodes, because it really is, I get constantly, I'm getting texts or emails or, just different thoughts on Facebook or whatever that tell me that this is a really powerful thing that helps to keep people focused, helps to keep people on solid ground. And just super grateful to have this available for those people who have something, have things going on in their life that they don't feel solid. And how interesting, it always is perfect. The things that I say in the beginning always lead to what we're going to focus on. I wrote down the physical, gratitude for the physical. And, as I was talking about solid ground, I think that's very appropriate. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds, and we're going to focus on gratitude for the physical. And just write down whatever comes to you. This will be personal inspiration specifically for you. And then after our 90 seconds, we'll share. So gratitude for the physical, 90-second private meditation, begin. All right. I've had kind of an interesting thing happening in my kitchen, in my household. Over the weekend, I was really focused. My daily GPS and my gratitude was all about the spirit, really focusing on the spirit, that there are a lot of things in the physical worlds that we can't control, especially right now. But the spirit, I had a lot of thoughts about strengthening my spirit. And in fact, I even created a blog post about it that I posted on my Facebook. So if you want to check that out, it's might be inspiring for you. But today, I'm really feeling gratitude for the physical, and just realizing that there is a lot that I can do with my physical health, actually staying home is something that I can do for my physical health right now. Not going out, not going out to eat is something that I am doing right now for my physical health. And I think when we go out to eat a lot of times we overeat, and we aren't as healthy if we go out to eat a lot. And so that's been actually a blessing. But there's something else that's been happening in my kitchen, which is really cool. And this has happened a couple of other times in my life that I can pick out immediately right now. And that is that my fridge and my freezer are never empty. And my cupboards too. I just feel like every time I open my refrigerator, it's like, wow, I thought we ate yesterday, but it's still like completely full. And there have been a couple of other times in my life that I remember that happening, where after my husband became disabled, we were really struggling financially. And I remember sitting down to dinner, and we were actually eating leftovers. And I looked around the table, and everybody's plates were completely heaping. It was like I had cooked a banquet, cooked like a Thanksgiving dinner, and it was just leftovers. And that's happened in our family a couple of times. This is the third specific time that's coming to my mind right now when that happened. And I'm just really grateful for an abundance of food. I'm grateful for that. I have an abundance of food, even though I haven't been to the grocery store for probably a couple of weeks. And it's just, I know that these are physical blessings, that God has the ability to kind of bypass physical law to create miracles in our lives if we are open and willing to receive them. Who else has something they would like to share?
I'll share.
Hey, Kathy, and then Melissa.
Okay. So at first I thought about the physical as opposed to spiritual and the physical blessings. But what's really jumping out to me was just a physical abundance of food and but space, and abundance physical space, and really grateful.
Sorry, Kathy, you cut out for a little bit. Physical abundance of food and what?
And space.
And space.
I'm
yes.
just really grateful. I was talking to a friend who brought to my attention, and I hadn't even thought about it, but thinking about during this lockdown, people who live in the high rises that all they have is maybe a balcony to go out, and people who don't even have that. And I have an acre that we can take a walk clear down to the trees. And then I was thinking about my sister and my dad that live out on a little farm. They've got 40 acres that they can, wow. They can get out of the house and go out with the animals, and just grateful for where I live, and grateful for the space that we have. And just my heart goes out to those people that don't have space.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I hadn't considered that. I see a lot of people walking back and forth. There's a lot more people getting out and, just being out in the sunshine during the middle of the day. My office faces the street. And so, I'll see people walk by a lot. And I know we have made that decision that we're going to get out and get in the sun at least once a day, so that we're not, just trapped in our house. But wow, I hadn't even considered that, in places where they're not on acreage, and big wide open spaces to go take a walk. Thank you. Melissa.
Speaking of walking, I took a walk yesterday, and I decided to do it again today. And it's just been so nice to have gratitude and movement at the same time. So I've been really grateful for my physical body and my ability. And another thing that's really fun, speaking of being cooped up and not having a physical connection, our neighborhood is doing a safari hunt. And so everyone's putting their stuffed animals out in their windows or on their porch. And so the kids today get to walk around and find the animals.
Spot animals. How
And
cute. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's just such a fun way to connect, because we can't actually stand in front of each other and talk, but we can at least have that physical outreach to each other.
I love that idea. It's just a couple of days ago, I sent a group text out to my daughters and my son-in-law, and I said, we need to think of some fun way that we can still connect and, without being physically connected. And the thought that came to me was a treasure hunt, to hide some things out in our backyard so that they can come over, and just do their little treasure hunt. So we're not like together, but we're together. And so what a great idea. I love that. Such a fun thing. I also want to comment on that gratitude and movement plus movement. One of the things that I know is really powerful when you are creating some new beliefs, when you're stepping into a new way of being, to create some sort of physical anchor will help you remember it. And, so like if you create the new belief that I am courageous, then you would choose something to do that is courageous, that really anchors in that idea that I am courageous. So if you were being afraid to talk to somebody, that you would call that person up immediately so that you can anchor in and give evidence, give hard, solid evidence to the idea that I am courageous. So I'll appreciate that reminder to put movement, put physical action behind the choices that we're making that we want to really remember and continue. Thank you.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
I just actually talked to someone who said that movement and grief are very important. Like when you're grieving, it's really important when you're getting all those emotions out to be like pacing or moving in some way, and it just helps the grief flow out of you. So I just thought that was interesting that you said that.
Yeah, thank you. That makes sense. Because when you get up and move, your blood starts moving faster, your energy increases, you get warmer. There's a lot of things that happen when we're moving. So thank you. I appreciate that suggestion. Any other thoughts?
What came to me is meditation and focusing on the physical part of us. When we get lost in our thoughts, to focus somewhere else besides our head, and to be able to, connect with God even through the physicalness. So,
wow, that's really powerful. Maybe we'll try that as we do our permission process. That is, I think, a really powerful thing. I've worked with people who have PTSD, and as they are whisked back to the moment, when this PTSD was really anchored in, there's a physical connection, just like I was talking about, anchoring yourself to something positive that you want to continue to create. There's also with PTSD, there's a physical something that happened during a moment of, major trauma, and a decision was made in that moment. And there are things that will take you physically back as if you are experiencing that all over again. And so if we focus, and one of the ways to bring people back is to actually help them to feel the chair beneath them, or to touch their hands together or something so that they can actually feel, or, touch the arms of the chair or something so that they can actually feel that they are sitting in my presence, in the present, that they're not actually back in that traumatic situation. So that can be really powerful. Any last thoughts before we shift over to our permission process?
Yeah, I'll share that I was grateful for my physical body, for the strengths and the vulnerability of it, for the solution that I'm grateful there are solutions to the hard times the body might have. And when it gets something in it that isn't good for it, there's a way to heal and move through it. And I also was thinking when you were speaking that my son and I were talking the other day. I had him just do a little stretch on the floor And when he was doing it, he says, "Am I crooked?" I said, "No, you're completely straight." And he felt crooked, and I think his spirit was a little crooked. When we are stressed, we kind of curl up. Maybe our body isn't, but our spirit is. So, it's interesting, kind of a abstract kind of thinking, but our spirits may be, when you were speaking, it reminded me of this, that when we did have trauma, and we are in that stressful thought pattern, that our spirits kind of are curled up or fetal position or whatever, or flinching, or so this, I don't know how to really articulate the rest of this, but that our spirits and our physical body can be in alignment or out of alignment with each other in that sense.
Yeah, I have experienced that. And when I'm at the chiropractor, where I'm laying completely straight on the table and I'm like, I feel like my left leg is like 2 inches shorter than my right leg or something. And they're like, nope, you're completely straight. And I do believe that is an actual physical feeling that we have when we are out of alignment, when, our spirit wants to be one way, but our body, the actions, the choices that we're making is something different, that we can actually create a feeling of being out of alignment. And, to get back into alignment with what we know is right and true, and that is in alignment with our spirits, that's, I think, the most healthy that we can be. That's the most free-flowing energy that can happen when our spirit and body is one. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that thought up. Let's go ahead and shift over to our permission process. Everybody, just go ahead and take a deep breath. And as you're breathing in, I just invite you to feel yourself physically becoming in alignment. Feel that like a column of light going up from the crown of your head all the way up to heaven, straight. And that light shoots through you all the way down to the heels of your feet and out into the earth, so you're completely grounded, heaven and earth, and that it's one complete straight shot, that your spirit and body are completely in alignment, and even physically feel the warmth that is generated inside of your body, the tingling of the energy moving through your fingertips and your feet, through your whole body. Allow that warm light to extend to your extremities and to be felt throughout your whole body. And just imagine and feel as the increase of speed, even of energy that happens within your body as you're tapping into that heavenly energy and also to the energy of the earth. And right now in our history, there is a change going on within our earth as well. And so I invite you to tap into that earth's energy. And the earth is always in alignment. The earth is completely obedient. So allow that energy of obedience, of confidence in God, knowing that everything is perfect. Just allow that energy to be soaked up through the bottoms of your feet and feel the confidence and the obedience of the earth, and allow yourself to be in a place where, as the earth is evolving in this new time that we're in, that you are evolving as well, that you are remaining in alignment, that you're allowing yourself to be moved with the confidence that the earth has in God, that you are being moved with that same confidence. And be open to receive some new information through that conduit of light from heaven. And feeling that physical connection, heaven and earth. Invite you to be open to know what is next for you. What is the most important thing you can do today to be in alignment with God's will, with God's mind, He knowing the future, knowing what everything that is happening right now is leading to, what is the one most important thing that you could do today to remain in alignment with His will? And as you're listening and becoming aware of that one most important thing, also listen for any limiting beliefs that might be coming up about taking action on that inspired shortcut, on that one most important thing. What's the limiting belief that would hold you back from taking action, from creating that physical anchor, from expressing your gratitude for this information in the form of taking action, being obedient to it, being aligned with the earth, with nature, obedient as nature is? What's your limiting belief? And then once you know what that limiting belief is, you also know that there's a cost to that limiting belief. If you hold on to that limiting belief, what's that going to produce? What's it going to create? What are you aligning with if you keep that limiting belief? And if you don't like that cost, then I invite you right now to give yourself permission to choose a new belief. If you're ready to do that, say yes.
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 Awesome. So then what are those new beliefs? Choose at least 2 or 3 new beliefs that will take the place of that old limiting belief, will empower you, will allow you to get back in alignment. Heaven and earth will empower you to be obedient, move forward confident with this new instruction that you've received, this inspired shortcut, and that now you are feeling yourself not fighting against what is happening, but actually being a part of the evolution. Just envision that you are now one with the earth and one with God, and that these new beliefs are helping you to become one and to stay in alignment. And I have one last thought that I would like to offer, and that is in the form of a question. Who is someone who I can serve today? Who needs what I have to offer? And just trust whatever comes to you, the person to connect with, and what you can provide. Physical connection in whatever means that, whatever form that takes. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. I want to just invite any of you who are listening to this, if you'd like to have a connection with me, a physical connection with me, you can do that through going to my calendar and scheduling a 15-minute call. And the website to go do that is askwylene.com. So just type in your URL, askwylene.com, and that will take you directly to my calendar. And you can schedule a 15-minute call. I'd love to have that connection with you and just see what we get to create. I had a call with someone yesterday, really awesome. He was feeling a pull to go back to something that he called an addiction. And after the conversation, it was about 20 minutes, but we were able to establish where that feeling of need was coming from. And it was just like completely joyful at the end and no desire whatsoever. So that 15 minutes can be super, super powerful. And I encourage any of you who are feeling like you need that extra connection to go to askwilene.com and schedule that time with me. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
I'll share.
Okay, Kathy and then Mary.
No, you go first. Go, Mary.
Okay.
The next step for me, or the inspired shortcut, was just to listen, to be still and slow down. And the limiting belief was others' judgments. Come on, let's go. I'm too slow, and I'll disappoint others. But the cost of that is a lack of peace and lack of alignment for myself. So my new beliefs are: I am calm, I am moving at the speed that serves me today, and I am in alignment with truth. And the person that came to me to serve today was me.
Nice. I love that. Thank you. No, we can only align with one thing. And if we're trying to align with other people, and especially if there's multiple other people, I mean, just visualize that, how you're completely broken up into pieces to be able to align with a bunch of other people. But aligning with God, He's always in the same place. We can always align with Him. And it might seem crazy to other people, some of the things that we do, but we are in alignment. And that's the way to always stay in alignment. Thank you. Kathy.
Once again, Mary, that just so completed what my thinking was. And I'm like, just in awe. I was thinking, just kind of stuck on the word courageous and anchoring courage. And so I had a lot of things that were coming up around that. And so I'm not feeling that my meditation is complete, and I'm feeling that probably what I need to do is get everything more organized in my thoughts, and to reach out on the Facebook page today when I'm ready to share. So
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this gratitude call, there are many times, several times, when it's just opened up something new that I hadn't really considered before, and I'll take that, to my own meditation after the call's over. And also, I'm super grateful that each one of our calls tends to build on the last. And so if you're here on a regular basis, then what you got today is going to be solid foundation, physical foundation for the next thing that we're going to learn tomorrow. So I encourage you to come back tomorrow as well, Kathy. Thank you. And yes, do go post on our Breakthrough with Gratitude Facebook group. Thank you. Any last thoughts before we end our call today?
I'll share a little bit.
Thanks, Bill. You were I was going to call on you. For some reason, I just felt like you had something. Go ahead.
My limiting belief is there's not enough. Just with everything that's going on, and having a tendency to cling and zip up my purse, and just cling to what I have. And really what's been on my mind is, just pay your tithing, and just everything will work out. And I'm resistant to it because I believe, because that's faith. So it's kind of crazy, that, we teach all this stuff, but then we ourselves still have to do our, be obedient to that. And so, it's a completely physical thing, because, the body believes that it will die, or the ego believes that it won't be special or won't be able to, save its image if it's, if it can't produce or something like that, And so as I think about, you know, like what my limiting beliefs are, and you know, getting down to the bottom of it, and really, if we just put our faith in God, and you know, and we're not blocking anything anywhere, then how can we not live in abundance? How
Yeah.
can we not?
I love that. You know, I had a similar experience, Phil, and about paying tithing. And I wrote the check out because I always mail my tithing in, or hand it, you know, to my bishop, because that I could pay it online and with a credit card. But for me, that physical, tangible, like actually writing the check out, is a little bit more meaningful to me. And so another evidence of, you know, doing something physical, and wrote the check out, had it in the envelope, but I was holding on to it because we had, you know, overspent this with our budget this month. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll just hold on to it until the first of the month. And then I was like, no, I'm going to put this on my vision board, that this amount of money comes to me. And we actually had some, you know, we've got a real estate account that we have some extra, you know, in case some of our properties have problems or something. So I have this sleep well at night account, is what we call it, that I could have transferred some money over to our checking account, you know, to be able to cover it, and we would have been fine. But to me, that was me taking over. And so I actually put it on my vision board, and just the amount of money, and I knew it was for tithing, and I was holding on to the check until it came, and I just let it, you know, let it be. And the last few days, our daughter, she's an assistant manager at a grocery store, and because of all the things that have been going on, you know, they're really being overworked. I mean, they're having to go around and sanitize everything every night, and, you know, deal with sometimes, you know, customers that are upset because they can't get what they need. And she's really out on the front lines. And her boss gave her $500 cash as just a bonus because of all the extra work that she's doing. And all of the checkers and baggers, they gave $100. And I just thought, you know, what a generous gift. And she came home and came straight to us and said, you know, because of everything that we've done for her, she wanted to give us a gift. And it was exactly the dollar amount that I needed to pay my tithing. So I just, you know, thanked God for that gift. And I don't know, you know, what would have happened if I had taken charge and actually paid. I had the ability to pay the tithing, but I didn't take charge. I just allowed God to handle it. And it was a blessing for all of us, you know, for my daughter, for us, you know, my husband and I. And anyway, I know I've proved God so many times. I know that he has the ability, he has the power to orchestrate events and to take care of us. And I encourage you to test your faith, and not just to you, Phil, but everybody, to test your faith and allow him to create those physical helps in your life for you to be able to feel that physical presence of him, that he does love us. He does know us each individually and everything that we need. Well,
I know who's been through the self-reliance course that the church does, but I have, and in personal finance, and they teach you an order, right? And the order is first tithing, then pay yourself, and then pay your bills after that, and then make sure you have your needs met, and then pay your bills.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't do that all the time. I'm worried about what other people
definitely
think. I'm worried
takes
about
faith.
my credit. I'm worried about, you know, like, and so I find myself just going back to those patterns, especially when I'm faced with a situation like this, where you know, we have to, you know, we just don't know what the future holds. And so it's easy to want to pull in and pull back and close the doors and zip up the curtains and just, you know, like totally like just not be responsible.
Right.
Just be in protection mode. And so
yeah, I appreciate you sharing this, Bill, because I'm sure that other people are feeling this as well. And I just want to say that, you know, that feeling of, because it's uncertain, you know, because we don't really know what the future holds, that, you know, your idea to kind of roll up and just kind of go inside is actually the opposite, because of what we need to be doing, because we have no idea what the future holds, but God does. And so if anything, this is the perfect time, the most important time for us to be opening up, looking up, asking, what is the most important thing for me to do? And whatever we receive, that inspired shortcut that you receive, to go do it obediently, just like we talked about in the meditation that we did, to be as obedient as the earth is being obedient, as nature is being obedient. He's preparing us for something. And he's the only one that knows what's coming. So for us to be able to be open, to look up, to not rely on ourselves, but to rely on the physical connection that we have with God, the knowledge that we have that he has a physical connection with the earth, that he has a physical knowledge of the future, something that we could not ever, you know. And this is, if anything, this is the time to test our faith. To really, you know, do a trial of faith and see what happens. I promise you it will be good. I love you guys. I would love to continue talking, but because I know this is a really awesome subject that's been opened up. I encourage you to go to the Facebook group Breakthrough with Gratitude and continue our conversation there. And then join us tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. I know it's going to be a great thing that we get to build on top of what we already created here today. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.